Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. Tonight, as the world outside gradually falls silent, we will together immerse ourselves in the currents of time, exploring lesser-known historical stories, fragments that seem small but are incredibly interesting and, at times, truly strange. Close your eyes, or simply relax your. We often think of great inventions like the wheel, electricity, or the internet. But did you know that history holds countless unique ideas, some too outdated, some too wild, and some simply born too early to be embraced? We often know Plato as one of the greatest philosophers of ancient Greece, who laid the foundation for Western philosophy with his profound ideas on idealism, justice, and the state. But did you know that Plato was not only a metaphysical thinker, but also a brilliant inventor, possessing an astonishingly practical mind? Today we will explore one of his unique creations, the first mechanical alarm clock. Let's travel back in time to Plato's Academy in Athens, where the greatest minds gather to learn and debate. In an environment where time was precious, ensuring everyone started their lessons on time was crucial. And so Plato devised an incredibly clever solution, utilizing what was readily available in nature: water. Plato's alarm clock operated on the principle of a clepsydra, water clock, but with a unique modification. A water-filled vessel was placed at a higher position with a small hole at the bottom, allowing water to flow out slowly. As the water emptied, it would fill another vessel below. Once a certain amount of water was reached, the air in the lower vessel would be compressed, creating pressure that pushed air through a small flute attached to the side. And just like that, a mellow sound would emanate, signaling that class had begun. This wasn't an alarm clock with a jarring sound like we typically hear today, but rather a gentle, melodious flute sound, just enough to awaken scholars deep in sleep or endless debates. This invention demonstrates Plato's foresight. He wasn't just interested in abstract concepts, but also highly valued practical utilities, helping maintain order and efficiency in his academy. It can be said that Plato's alarm clock is a powerful testament to the ingenuity and intelligence of ancient people. Though a simple idea, it laid the groundwork for later developments in timekeeping and automated devices. It shows that even in an era when technology was rudimentary, humans always sought to utilize natural laws to serve their lives. This invention not only helped Plato's scholars arrive at class on time, but also embodied a deeper philosophy, the harmonious combination of theoretical knowledge and practical application. Plato, as a philosopher, transformed physical laws into a useful tool, proving that philosophy exists not only in books, but also in everyday life. So, the next time you hear your alarm clock, remember Plato, the great philosopher with the water clock that played a flute. It's an intriguing story about the fusion of supreme intellect and humanity's unending creativity. When people talk about Leonardo da Vinci, they often think of masterpieces like the Mona Lisa or the Last Supper, but few know that he was also an engineer, an inventor whose imagination far surpassed his era. During the Renaissance, in the mid-15th century, when warfare was still manual and chaotic, Leonardo dreamt of a completely different kind of war machine, an armoured tank, the precursor to the modern military vehicles we know today. Among the hundreds of technical manuscripts Da Vinci left behind, the drawing of his conical tank is one of the most remarkable and unusual designs. Its shape resembled a gigantic wooden tortoise shell, covered externally with metal plates to ward off arrows and bullets. Inside was a complex gear system with 4 soldiers operating it manually, with cranks to move the wheels. On top and around the body of the vehicle, Leonardo positioned numerous small cannons pointing outwards, allowing it to attack enemies from all directions while remaining safe inside its armoured shell. At first glance, this seemed like a nearly perfect design, but when modern researchers reconstructed the model, they noticed something peculiar. The gear system in the drawing made the tank unable to move. 2 of the wheels were geared in opposite directions. This led many to believe that Leonardo intentionally designed a flaw, perhaps to prevent his ideas from falling into the wrong hands, or simply to protect humanity from unforeseen consequences if this technology were ever implemented. Furthermore, the technology of the time was not advanced enough to bring this design to life. Metal plates strong enough for the armour would have been too heavy, making it impossible for 4 men to operate the vehicle by hand. At the same time, there was no steam engine or mechanical system available to provide sufficient power for movement. Though never built, Leonardo da Vinci's tank remains a testament to an extraordinary intellect, a person who conceived futuristic concepts more than 500 years ago. The idea of an armoured, self-propelled war machine with all-around offensive capabilities only truly materialised more than 400 years later during World War I. Leonardo was not just a painter, he was an anatomist, astronomer, engineer, and inventor. He observed the world with eyes that seemed to foresee the future. His tank drawing is not just a mechanical work, it is also a symbol of humanity's limitless vision, a vision that can extend beyond its own era, beyond physical limitations, and even beyond reality itself. Leonardo da Vinci left behind not only immortal paintings, but also endless inspiration for creativity. And though his tank forever remained on paper, it lives on as proof that imagination is the most powerful thing humanity has ever possessed. Imagine living in Rome over 2,000 years ago. Amidst the scorching heat of a Mediterranean summer, you're sipping on a glass of chilled wine. No electricity, no refrigerator, no ready-made ice cubes. So how did the ancient Romans manage to keep their food, drinks, and medicine cool and even frozen? The answer lies in the ingenuity and audacity of one of history's greatest civilizations. At their peak, the Romans built an incredibly sophisticated refrigeration system, relying on natural ice and snow from high mountain ranges like the Alps and the Apennines. In winter, specialized workers, called nivatores, would ascend to the high mountains, where snow was abundant and remained unmelted for months. They collected the snow, compressed it into large blocks of ice, and then stored it in nivicarium, also known as ice houses. These ice houses were typically built underground, with thick stone walls and insulation layers of straw, bark, or even volcanic ash. Some ice houses were also designed with clever drainage systems to prevent melted water from affecting the remaining ice blocks. Thanks to this meticulous preservation method, the Romans could keep ice for months, even until summer. But how did ice from the high mountains reach large cities like Rome? This is where Rome's astonishing transportation system came into play. Special horse-drawn carts, lined with straw and thick canvas, transported the ice blocks at night when it was coolest. Sometimes the ice was even packed with salt to slow down the melting process. They travelled hundreds of kilometres along ancient paved roads, through rest stops and storage depots along the way, to finally deliver the ice to markets, aristocratic villas, or public baths. In aristocratic villas, ice was used to chill wine, preserve gourmet food, or simply to create a pleasant sensation amidst the summer heat. At public baths, a vital part of Roman social life, ice was used to regulate the temperature in the cold room's rigidarium, creating a unique, relaxing experience for the citizens. The most astonishing thing is not just that they did all of this without modern technology, but how they organised an entire system from collection, preservation to distribution, operating smoothly for centuries. This is a testament to the Romans' adaptability, engineering skills and organisational thinking far ahead of their time. Today we only need a button press to chill everything, but for the ancient Romans every cool drink was the result of cleverness, meticulous effort and an intricate operating system, and that the combination of nature and human intellect is what made them one of the greatest civilizations in history.